All right. Hi, everyone. This is Jamie Broderick. I'm here today with Angela Kim. She is the founder of Savor the Success, which is a rock star networking organization in the New York City area.
Hi.
And she also is the creator of a beauty line called Home Aroma, and she has a spa. Is it in the West Village, Savor Spa?
Yeah, so I have a boutique spa in the West Village and a bigger one in Woodstock, New York.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. I am on Periscope as well, so I'm going to turn that to the screen so they can see what's happening in case they can't get on Blab. So there we are. Oh, why not? We'll do a few.
Yeah, of course. We're just winging it like entrepreneurs do.
Yeah, right? Just got to put yourself out there, right? So I thought I would introduce you to my followers because I'm all about women helping women. We've known each other online for a long time, but we've never actually met in person. But I've always been very, supportive of you and your group and everything you do because it's just fantastic. Like give, give, get. I'm all about the give, give, get.
Yes, give, get. Very important to making the world turn around. And as entrepreneurs, we're so like in it by ourselves. And so just to know you have a support group is really important.
Absolutely. So I thought we'd start by talking about how to be successful as an entrepreneur, just kind of the traits that we find. In my experience, one of the things is taking action, right? Just being willing to put yourself out there and get a little uncomfortable and take action. I'm sure you find that as well, right?
Yes. So it's funny because I was telling a group of entrepreneurs last week how we're consistently and constantly taking risks and putting ourselves out there. And there's a lot of risk involved, not only monetary risk, but also just like yourself. You're putting yourself out there. And the name of the game is if you can get a lot of rejections, eventually you'll get a lot of yeses. And so if you can get through that hurdle, that's the risk that we have to take as entrepreneurs. And it's not easy, it's not a walk in the park.
Right. You can kind of keep the fun in it, but yes, it is a lot of work. People think they start their own business and they'll be only working 10 to 20 hours a week. Not true.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can do that. It's just how big do you want to get?
Right. True. Yeah. Very true. Right. And the other thing I see as a trait of a successful entrepreneur is somebody that knows how to make relationships, real ones. It helps other people and it's very supportive. The true meaning of networking, right?
Yes, yes. So relationships for me is it's very interesting how relationships happen because, my story is that I was a concert pianist. I grew up in Iowa. And so I was used to just doing everything alone. And I never worked for a corporation. I never ran a business. And I just became the accidental entrepreneur when I went into my kitchen and started making lotions and potions just for fun. And after like 1,000 tries, because as a pianist, I was used to really making things perfect, right? You don't stop until you're really proud of something. I started to give them as gifts to friends. They started to buy them as gifts for their friends. So that was very interesting. Because when I launched, I didn't know anybody. And so I thought, here I am going from being alone as a concert pianist to being alone as an entrepreneur. And I've got this premium organic product. It's called Home Aroma & Co. It's my skincare line. And I don't know anybody that's rich. All my friends are poor, starving artists. So my biggest question when I first started was, how do I access people with money so they'll buy my lotions and creams and serums? And so that's been an interesting journey for me because as relationships have developed and as this give, give, get thing is happening and as my visibility has risen through the ranks, it really boils down to relationships. It's the person you can call at 8 o'clock at night and you can turn to and get support. Listen, I need you to open this door for me. Can you help me? Or listen, to this magazine editor, listen, I need this written up, or I've got this new product coming out. Here's a great story. Are you interested in writing about it? And just these relationships that make business so much easier. So you don't have to consistently put yourself out there with so many rejections. Once you have these relationships, people want to help you because you've helped them along the way.
Right. Be the person that people want to help. By helping them, no matter where they are, whether they're a TV anchor or an editor of a magazine, they still need help in some way.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
People get that. And a lot of people ask for something too early, right out the gate. They're asking for help. Do this for me.
Yes.
That's not how it works.
That's totally not how it works. You're absolutely right. And so you know what? So we're here together on this thing. Am I supposed to interview you too, or are you supposed to interview me? Are we supposed to just chit chat? Like, tell me what this is. Because
I was kind of just blabbing away, you know?
It's okay, blabbing away. Okay, all right. So, because I don't want to hog the conversation here, but yeah.
It's your time, Angela.
Okay, so what was your question again?
I guess we were talking about not asking too early for a favor, actually helping other people.
And you know, it's interesting because you've really got to develop a relationship before you get out, you come out of the gate asking for favors. And it has to do with, I think what you just said, Jamie, is so key. So I'm going to bring it out again and emphasize it. People of influence, people who seem very successful, they need help just as much as you need help. And if you can figure out how you can do that, you're going to be much further ahead in the game. And then when it's your turn to ask for a favor, people want to help you too. And if they don't want to help you, then you shouldn't be hanging with that type of person anyway.
Exactly.
So yes, so there is a complete art to doing this. You know, so for example, I have a friend, she's actually a business partner, and I want to help her. I genuinely want to help her. I know she's raising money right now. And so when I'm here in New York City talking on panels or meeting people for dinner or parties, there are a lot of investors in the room. And so I'm always thinking of her. And so when I get the opportunity, I write her the email, make the introduction, and I even tell her a strategy. Like, I think this person wants this, and I know you can help this person with this. See how you can find the synergy and make it happen. And so you've got to be really good at that, the generosity of strategigic giving. I guess that's how you could call it, because strategic giving feels too strategic, but it's the generosity of knowing that you have limited time and resources as well. So if you can give strategically to the people with whom you have affinity, you get much further ahead in the game.
Right. Just being kind of aware of what people need. So just as you said, making that email introduction so that their visit is more productive for them, that's huge. That's
yeah.
Great. Yeah. It kind of took me aback initially when I first started Network Now. Somebody asked me, how's it going? And I said, it's going so well, I actually feel guilty. And they said, don't you believe in the power of attraction? You've put so much positive out into the world. It's all just coming back at once. I was like, I do believe in the power of attraction. I actually have a necklace that's made by a local artist in Bucks County, Amy Ragsdale. It's her interpretation of the power of attraction. I absolutely love it. Rhonda Heffern and I both have the same necklace. She's in my group. But I just love that meaning. You just put out there. There's plenty for everyone. And don't have the scarcity mindset, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So what made you feel guilty when you were starting to experience success with your organization? I guess
I used to feel more comfortable in the giving position than in the receiving position. But I learned to be a little more comfortable with receiving now.
Right. So what's interesting is a lot of people, I think, and me included, and I think women especially, have a very hard time asking for the support that they need. But maybe there's a little intuition behind that too. Maybe they haven't figured out how to give in a way that they feel comfortable asking. Because I know now, like when I first launched my business, I did feel like I was taking people's time, and I was like, I instinctively knew that maybe it was a little too early to be asking, or I didn't have that kind of relationship that I could freely ask. So, so what are all these things that are coming in? Like this is my first blab.
Oh, okay.
I'm like really amazed by it. So all these people are like doing all this stuff here. What's that? Is that like hearts from Periscope?
Let's do a little blab review for those watching and for Angela. It's her first blab. All right. So what those numbers that you see increasing in your box are actually, they're called props, but they're really like high fives, those little hands. So when people
cute.
Yeah, cute, isn't it? It's like likes on Facebook or hearts on Periscope.
Okay. I love that.
It's telling you that the people listening support you, they like what you're saying, and they're giving you some high fives and some props.
Okay, I love that. Okay.
It's only within the broadcast, though. It doesn't like accumulate over time like Periscope's hearts do.
Okay.
But throughout the event, if people click that little blue button, it says "Tell a Little Bird," it'll tweet out the event to all of their followers on Twitter. And they can also type comments along in the chat box. I see a lot of people have joined us, but no comments yet. So if you have any comments, feel free to ask away.
Yeah. What I was saying was, I think for a lot of people feel very challenged around that whole notion of when to ask. And so as I was saying is, if you've given a lot to a relationship, it's very easy. Hey, I need your help. I pick up the phone now all the time and I call my posse, just the circle of editors or friends or colleagues or investors or connectors in general. And I just feel very comfortable texting and saying, hey, I need your support. Can you do X, Y, and Z? And I find that when you ask for support, not to convolute your request with a bunch of paragraphs and crazy things. It's just very simple. Hey, do you mind sending this out to your email list? And then making it very easy for them to do so. I think when you do ask someone for help, to make it as easy as possible is a huge gift for the person who's receiving the request.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even though I've been doing this for a while and I've had support from some amazing people, it still blows me away the relationships that we've created in this group. And, we're having a conference October 16th. We're going to talk about your conference coming up. But October 16th, I sent a text to Petra Kolber and said, I need you to be a part of this event. The topic is Future is Bright. It would be perfect for you. She's like, I'll be your keynote. Like, wow. It's like, doesn't skip a beat, right? Amazing.
Yeah. So what's your conference? Tell me what it is and when is it and where is it?
It's a mini version of Rock the World.
Hear about it.
It's called The Future is Bright, and it's in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. It's being hosted by Pearl S. Buck International, which is a global nonprofit that's headquartered here in Bucks County. Our keynote, like I said, is Petra Kolber, and she is teaching happiness now.
Oh.
So happiness. She's taking her fitness piece. She's been a fitness guru for years and mixing that with the whole mindset training of positive thoughts and future is bright and mindset to achieve, live a happy life.
Right. Okay, great.
She's literally going to have everyone up on their feet dancing.
Okay, that's amazing. And how many people do you expect for the conference?
Oh, it's a small conference of 60.
That's great. I mean, you know what? That's great because you can really look. I like that size of conference because you can look at people in the eyes. That's what I always say because we host a lot of different events, and I like that because you can still see people.
Oh, everyone's going to be really connected after this. Let's just say, the first member of Network Now is going to be kicking off the event and introducing me, and then I'm going to deliver a speech after that. And then we have a leadership panel, which is going to be moderated by Lynn Doyle, who was the host of It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle on the Comcast network for years. And on the panel, Jen Groover, who you know very well.
I love Jen.
Yeah.
What's so fun?
She's a superstar.
Yeah.
And Gina Rubel from Fury of Rubel Communications. She's an ex-attorney and now runs a PR firm whose clients mostly are big law firms in Philadelphia. And then Janet Mincer, who's the CEO and president of Pearl S. Buck International. They'll be on the panel talking about women in leadership. And then we have a special guest, Sue Geyer, who is a premium member of Network Now, and she'll be doing a 15-minute transformation exercise with the group. She's a transformative life and business coach and very impactful. Anything she touches, it's just you see change, which is what she's all about, is teaching transformation. So my event is on October 16th, but I saw that you have an event coming up because I was hoping to go, but my nephew's getting married that day.
Oh, yeah.
But Rock the World, October 3rd. Tell us about
So in New York City, October 3rd, Rock the World. Our hashtag is We Rock the World 2015. And it's just women who are wanting to change the world, wanting to be leaders, makers, creators, women entrepreneurs, and yes, even men. They're allowed to come too. And our speakers include Gretchen Rubin, who is the author of The Happiness Project. You know her, Jamie, right? Yes, right. She's wonderful. Yes. She just came out with another New York Times bestseller called Better Than Before, which is an amazing book on creating habits. And we're going to be talking about how do you create habits to set up for success in your life. And then we have speakers the co-founder of Guilt will be there. Alexander Wilkes Wilson. She just founded another startup called Glam Squad. So all the rage here in New York City is, Uber is drivers on demand. And now everybody's coming out with something on demand, massage on demand. So her company, Glam Squad, offers beauty services on demand. And I've tried her services and it's really amazing. You feel like a celebrity. So
come and get a blowout kind of thing?
Yeah, you get a blowout. Braids are really in right now, makeup services. So she'll be there to speak about the challenges that she's had to overcome to build her multi-million dollar ventures. And then the founder of Vosges Chocolate, Katrina Markov, she calls herself the creativity entrepreneur. She built a company. She just started making these amazing chocolates that were mixed with cayenne pepper, wasabi. So she was one of the first chocolate makers to do that. And she's built a $35 million annual revenue company. And what I think is fascinating about her is she's not your typical die-hard entrepreneur like the founder of Guilt is. She's softer and she's more creative. And so I was really interested in bringing her to rock the world for that, because I think a lot of women are not necessarily your die-hard business woman, but they want to build something, right? So she built this amazing company. And then if you live in New York City, you've heard of Baked by Melissa. And she started a company, these small little cupcakes that became the darlings of the fashion world because they were tiny. So when you would eat them, you would think, I'm not gaining weight. So now she's in 13 or 15 stores. But what I liked about her story is she got fired when she was in her 20s. And her brother said, what about those cupcakes that you make? And so she just turned some sour lemons into a lot of lemonade. And she's also very creative. So there's all these amazing women who will be there. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's great to learn from people who have done it, right? That's what you want.
I think that's really important. I think it's important because I feel like entrepreneurs, when we look at each other in the eyes, we get each other. There's a lot of highs and a lot of lows, like what we were just talking about. And the lessons learned are so healing when you hear of other people who have failed, who have really overcome some serious hardships, bankruptcy, employee issues, feeling scared and still risking everything to do it. When you hear those kind of stories, for some reason, it really elevates you and inspires you to get to that next level. And it brings out the best in you as well. So I think that's really important. Yeah.
Well, trying to build a business by yourself is just so difficult. Never mind. I feel like the network, whoever's network it is, it provides a support group, right? It provides a sounding board. Because you need the emotional support as well as all the knowledge and resources that we provide. Mm-hmm. There's so much to it. Sometimes I'm business coaching, and sometimes I'm a therapist, talking them off the ledge or getting them out of their nest. Like, you can fly, do it, girl. I'm behind you. I can't wait to see what you do. Yeah, I started this because I was helping friends with their business. Mm-hmm. But the passion that keeps me going, it's just, I get such enjoyment out of seeing people succeed and seeing them take those action steps and reaching that next level. It's like, just does it for me. I love it.
Right.
I think I was writing my speech for the event, and I was thinking about, Jen Groover is the one that helped me with this, actually. She kept saying, what's your story? What's your story? What's your why? And I would give some why. And she's like, no, it goes deeper than that. And I'm thinking about when I was a kid, I felt really invisible and small. I didn't have a voice. My parents were too busy fighting with each other. And now I'm making sure everyone has a voice, that they can make an impact in the world, that they can be heard and share their gifts. It's just, that's what the whole, emotional piece is behind it. And then,
it's powerful when you can plug into what you're doing today, into why this is so emotional and very important for you, because it gives so much more significance and fulfillment to what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have a why besides the business piece of the why, or have you realized your why?
So, it's funny because I keep coming back to this women entrepreneur thing, because I have 3 businesses and I have a daughter, she's 5 years old, and I have a beautiful, yellow lab. She's right here next to me. And my husband, I always ask myself, why am I so passionate about this conference? We're launching a magazine called Savor Life magazine as well at the conference, and just featuring different women entrepreneurs. And, it really stems to my dad passed away when I was 13 years old. And my mom was left with 3 teenage girls. I was 13. My 2 younger sisters were 11 and 9. And now that I look back, we lived in Iowa. She's a Korean mom. She doesn't speak a lot of English. She was an entrepreneur. She taught piano lessons in our basement. And I just saw how the burden of bringing 3 teenagers up in a foreign country really dimmed her light. And she had a hard time making ends meet. I think at the time she was only making $15,000 a year, which is nothing for, a mom of 3. And so I just worried about, how am I going to go to college? How are we going to make ends meet? I was just always worried about her, but I was mostly concerned because I wanted to see my mom flourish and not give up her dreams. And so I think it just comes back to that. I would see her go back to bed very depressed, and because she didn't know how to cope with things. And so I think today my thing is, don't get back into bed. You can do it. You can power through. You just need the right tools for it. So that's really my why. And it's what fuels me to do this women entrepreneur movement, So even though it's a lot of work, it's worth it for the moments when people say, what you said really helped me to get through to the next level, and I'm sure you feel that way too, Jamie.
Right. Yeah, that's funny what you said about your mom. Not funny, haha, but funny, interesting. Because I look back at my mom, who had a really difficult life because she married the wrong guy, let's say. Mm-hmm. And instead of, figuring out a plan and taking action and moving forward, she just kind of sunk into a depression for a long time. And I thought she was so weak at the time as a kid. And now as an adult, of course, I have much more compassion for her, but I just want to give people the tools and the support that they need to just move forward. I don't want anybody to flounder when they have such potential in them,
I think when you're a child and you wish, and that's why it's so important for me to be that for Sienna, my daughter, to be strong and powerful. And I'm always whispering to her, you can do anything you want. Look at mommy. And, I want her to use me as a model. And I think when you're young, and the reason why you probably you might have even felt resentful, is because you could see that they could be so much greater than they could see for themselves. And so as children, we don't know how to express that. We get angry. We're like, well, I just get mad at my mom. Why aren't you taking better care of us? I'm so stressed out all the time, and come on, I tried to help her get a job. I tried to help her launch a business. It was called Decadent Delights for even the most discriminating cookie monster. Like, I tried to help her in every which way. And that was my first lesson, that if someone doesn't want to be helped, they're not going to be helped,
Right.
But as children, I can see how that's stressful and how we may not know what to do with that emotion,
Right. So you just touched on another point, that they need to want it. They need to be motivated, have that positive mindset, and be willing to do the work required, not just make excuses and stay status quo stuck.
Right. Yes.
Because you need to be a lifelong learner in order to succeed in life in any capacity, I think. It's so much to learn and so many people to meet, and just do something every day to move yourself forward. There's a friend of mine, Luann Kahn, who, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She was on NBC 10 as an investigative reporter in Philadelphia for a long time. Then she hosted the 10 show, which is like the local Today show, until they closed that show down. But now she's taken another job at a local university, and she wrote a blog. Every day for 365 days, she did something different, and she blogged about it. And the reason she did this is because she felt stuck in life. She just felt like, and she didn't understand it. She has this wonderful marriage, a beautiful daughter, a great job at NBC. She's like, but I feel stuck. So she decided, with her daughter's prompting, because she didn't even know what a blog was at the time, to do something different every day and blog about it. And then after a year, she was a transformed person just by taking action every day and experiencing something new every day. And then it's got picked up, I think, by Penguin Books. Now it's a book, and she's been out on a tour. But, Jen Grover knew this was going to happen, the transformation. She said to Luann Kahn that when she first started this blog, she said, I can't wait to see who you become in a year. Like, she knew it would be transformational for her.
Yeah, of course. You can't not change with action.
Right. Absolutely. And you can't not change with action. So yeah, I'm gonna take off my jacket.
Take it off, Jamie. Woo!
As you can tell, I like green. Like it's like I'm blending with my wall. You're like like a chameleon.
It's hot around here.
Yeah. So what else? I know some of your members. So Savor the Success, you can find at savorthesuccess.com, correct?
Yes, you can go to savorthesuccess.com. We are launching a magazine, lifestyle magazine for entrepreneurs. It's a gorgeous magazine, really gorgeous. Our first issue is about 125 pages or something like that. And
really?
We're featuring, sorry?
Really? That's huge.
It's huge. I don't know how it became so big. It's like crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. And it's just beauty to business, you know, and the tagline is success and fun. It's a lifestyle. And that's my whole thing, you know, as we were talking about our why, you know, I was a concert pianist and my parents were very, you know, they were like Korean parents, practice 4 to 6 hours a day. And it was like, come on, every morning I'd wake up at 5 a.m. and just practice. And you know, it wasn't fun. And so that's a big thing about business is for me, it does feel like a walk in the park compared to when I was a pianist. Because for piano, I felt like it was so much work and I was very passionate about it. But now for the first time, I'm having so much fun and I don't take it as seriously. And so that's what the magazine's all about is how in there we feature Katrina Markoff, the Vosges chocolate founder, and how she uses creativity to make it more fun and how does she navigate through her business. And so we're just a lot of Savor members were highlighted and people who are doing extraordinary things with their life. And a lot of Savor members contributed as well. And so the photos are gorgeous. And so you can check it out later on savorthesuccess.com.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that'll
awesome.
be launched at the conference. That's going to be a big deal.
Okay, very cool. So October 3rd, Rock the World 2015, savorthesuccess.com to find Angela's networking organization. So where do you have Alma Roma products? Are they only sold at Savor Spa or?
Well, they're sold, you know, in luxury spas across the United States. And what I'm really passionate about is estheticians who are independent. They have their own independent companies. They buy our products too. And Savor Spa has them. And of course, they're available on omaroma.com as well.
Okay, awesome. And I'm the founder of Network Now. My website's networknowconnections.com. And if you're interested in finding out more about that conference on October 16th, just go to the events calendar. I think we have about 18 seats left, and then it'll be sold out. So.
Woohoo!
Awesome. It's awesome. So I see Mary Fran is on here. Hey, Mary Fran, if you want to come on, just click the join button. You can say hello to Angela in person or Kathy or who else is on here? Any other members? Any of your speakers joining us today, Angela? I don't see anyone.
The speakers? I don't think so.
Okay. Mary Fran, you want to join and say hello? Oh, she says yes. You got to put yourself out there. Let's see.
Hey,
Mary Fran is like.
Hi, how are you? It's so nice to see. I'm listening, fascinated with what you have to say about supporting women and having fun and kind of, you know, lightening up on that kind of guilt that we all bring to the party when we're not performing to our own self-imposed expectations sometimes, and you know, to just be out there and to really support one another. It's a great thing. Your magazine sounds wonderful too.
Thank you, Mary. I'm so excited about it. I know it's one of those things where it just consumed us like crazy. My partner Sarah and I, we just were. You know, we would get onto video like this at like 11 at night. We were editing and drinking wine, and it was fun. It's fun when you do it with other people as well.
Right. And you attract a great group of women. I know some of them. Carolyn Herforth, I've met and worked with a few times.
Yeah, she's lovely. We go to Central Park and have walks often.
Okay.
Yeah, we periscoped once from Central Park.
I saw the one in the apartment where you were making some sort of.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? That's so funny. I was just like, what are you talking about, Carolyn? She's like talking about basil. I'm like, you're not going to get any clients by talking about basil. She's so anyway, it was funny.
Well, you got to try, right? I gave you some hearts for the basil.
Oh, thank you so much. So Mary, what do you do?
I call myself a not ready for granny panties lady. I was a newspaper columnist, and of course that all went by the wayside. And when that happened, I took my writing to the internet. And as I always say, there wasn't a lot out there for women of a certain age, shall we say. So I created a blog. It started out as a blog. So I know what you're saying about how these things start to grow organically. You start out with an idea, and then all of a sudden you're in a different place, but you just have to go with it. So it started out as a blog, and from that there are 2 books, The 11 Commandments for Avoiding Granny Panties, and the new one is The Woman's Book of Dirty Words. And a lot of it's about teaching women how to be self-centered and reclaim their right to fun, and to sort of fix that self-talk that we have in our heads that is often our own worst enemy.
Oh, wow. That sounds so cool, niched, and impactful.
Yeah, it's funny because, it was an organic thing. It started out with how do I get my work out there and take advantage of the internet, and then just in terms of connecting with different readers and women, finding out that there's this huge group of people out there who, and I really connected with what you said about, are not necessarily these high-powered entrepreneurial types. They're just everyday women, but everybody's got a gift. Everybody's got something to offer. And it's about how can you feel vibrant, and especially as we get a little older, how can you continue to feel vibrant and live in this world and make a contribution, that brings some value to everything, and that you appreciate yourself in the process.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So are you in Pennsylvania as well?
I am in Pennsylvania. I'm a Network Now member. I'm a friend. I met Jamie a number of years ago, and she's dynamic, to say the least. And it's been a wonderful connection for me. But yes, I'm looking to get back into the speaking agenda. We had a lot of personal stuff going on last year, so I at least managed to finish the book. That was a good thing.
That's great.
Yeah, but like I said, I appreciated especially what you said about the women who might consider themselves under the radar, like giving them some power too.
Yeah, yeah. Jamie, you and Mary, do you both have children?
Mary Fran's are, would you say they're all adults now?
Well, chronologically. They're chronologically all adults. Emotionally, sometimes, but yeah, 20s, and my son just turned 30, and I am actually a grandmother. So,
oh my gosh, that's lovely.
No granny panties. No granny panties.
I won't wear the panties, right? I won't wear the granny panties, but I am a grandmother.
Yeah, she's a mom back of our time, Angela. She's like hysterical.
You totally don't look like a grandma.
Oh, thank you. You're my new best friend.
And I have 2 children. My son is 18. He just started at the University of South Carolina.
Congratulations. That's a great university.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, for anyone out there with a junior in high school, if your child is like the smart but doesn't apply themselves that well in high school, but if at least they have a 3.4 or better, South Carolina will give you in-state tuition. Awesome tip.
Wait, did you say University of Southern California or Carolina?
Oh, South Carolina.
Oh, I thought I heard USC from. Okay, great, wonderful. And so then, and then the other one, how old?
She's 10.
Oh my gosh! So 18 and 10. So how did you? Okay, let me ask you. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
I'm an open book, girl.
Okay, good. So you had your children 8 years apart.
Right.
So did you do that because your son was lonely?
It's just the way it worked out.
Okay, so all right.
I adopted my daughter, actually. She's adopted. I adopted my daughter from Kansas.
Oh my gosh.
I should write a book about that, actually. It was the perfect adoption. It went so smoothly that I feel that somebody was there guiding us through, because it took less than the 9 months it would have taken to create a human being.
That's wonderful.
And isn't she like my perfect daughter? She's like a mini me.
I'm stunned. I am stunned right now because that child looks like you. She has your energy. She has.
Oh, you mean Mary? You didn't know that she was adopted?
I am completely blown away. I'm just stunned. I mean, this child is meant to be yours, clearly, because she is me for you.
That photo I found on, you know how Facebook shows you memories? 5 years ago, you put. So there's a photo of her going to kindergarten 5 years ago, and there she is going down the driveway, like, like she just is.
That is so
fun, thoughtful, and yeah, I love her. She's great. My son, by some miracle, we made him. And then we decided we didn't want to stop at one. So when he was 7 years old, we said, how about a sister or a brother? And he's like, well, it's been kind of nice being an only child, but I guess that would be okay. And then after a month after she was here, he said, Mommy, I'm really surprised at how much I love her. So yeah, it's sweet. He has a sweetness in him, deep in there somewhere now. He's a teenager.
Oh,
Anyway.
well, that's lovely. Oh, I think that's really cool that you adopted your daughter and that you have, 8 years apart. I think because you probably had a built-in babysitter, which is great for an entrepreneur.
Yes, a little bit, not for too long. Can't trust that teenage boy, but just wait until your daughter grows up.
So listen, here's the deal. My daughter's kindergarten teacher our first grade teacher just called. I have no idea why. And we have to get this magazine to print soon. So I'm wondering if we have any audience questions, because it looks like I might have to get going a little earlier because I'm a little nervous that something's happened at school.
Yeah, I got a call from the nurse a few months ago. My daughter fainted in health class.
Oh.
Pretty funny, actually. But she was fine. She just will never be a doctor, let's say. Somebody wrote, if someone doesn't want to be helped, they're not going to take help. Very good. Yeah, good point. Learning is a great thing about life. A whole different kind of party now with Mary Fran on here, I guess, somebody like that. It looks like everyone's just saying hello, and they're signed up for conferences, and that's great. Oh, new message. What is the biggest setback to women entrepreneurs? Someone wants to know.
I think women entrepreneurs try to do it by themselves very often. I think rejection is very difficult for them from what I've observed. And the third thing I would say, which I think is very interesting, is I think women, financing is a big hurdle for women. I was on a panel with some investors, and they said on average, women entrepreneurs will ask for, when they're launching a business, they'll ask for $500,000 for their first raise of money. Men will ask for multi-million-dollar deals. So it just goes to show you that I think women, I would like the conversation around money to change for women so that they feel that they can own a bigger piece of the pie. So those are the 3 setbacks that I see come up most frequently.
Right. Was Amanda on that panel? Amanda Steinberg?
No, I've met with Amanda frequently, but no, she wasn't on that panel. We'll have a money panel at Rock the World where we are going to talk about this in the psychology of how can women think bigger around money, because I'm convinced that it's a mindset. And once women get around the mindset of money, you do ask for more. You do see your value more. You own it. And somehow money is more, you were talking about attraction. It comes to you more easily, and when you demand it, frankly, for yourself and your success. So that's the biggest setback that I see for women entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I would say mine is very similar, that women undervalue their talents and strengths and what they provide. So they underprice, or they're negotiating the price down before the person even has a chance to answer them, right? So don't negotiate on price. Just put yourself out there, position yourself and put yourself out there and price yourself based on the value you're providing. Don't try to compete on price. So thanks for joining us, Mary Fran. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I had to throw off my sweatshirt before I got on here. I was like, oh my God, what do I look like? I thought, forget it. I just want to be involved.
You look fantastic.
I jumped in, whatever.
Gorgeous and glowing.
I'll be on again tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So feel free to join then too, Mary Fran.
I will.
I'm going to say goodbye. All right, there we go. So Angela, I'll let you get on with your life in New York City. Savor.
Thank you.
Yeah, October 3rd, Rock the World, networknowconnections.com. October 16th, Future is Bright. Hope to see some happy faces at either event. I'll catch you next year, maybe 2016, Angela.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.